Puppy?
Let's eat, Alistair. It's time for dinner.
Okay, Jess. Just a sec.
Yeah? I haven't finished making dinner yet.
Let's eat Alistair.
Let's eat Alistair. Let's eat Alistair. Let's eat Alistair.
Oh, it was just a dream.
Let's eat, Alistair. It's time for dinner.
So in this lesson we're going to have a look at vocatives. First of all, let's have a look at vocatives in the sentence eat Alistair. So the verb here is eat. The subject is an implied you, which we put here in parentheses. This is the imperative mood, so remember there is an implied subject. And the direct object here is poor, unfortunate Alistair. In the next sentence, the verb again is eat, and the subject is an implied you, and Alistair in this case is a vocative. We also can call this a noun of direct address, and you can tell that it's a vocative because there is a comma that is separating it from the rest of the sentence. So, what exactly is a vocative? A vocative is a person's or thing's name, written as though the writer were addressing that person or thing directly. That's the definition. It's pretty simple. So, tell me what the definition of a vocative is. Very good. What's the definition of a vocative? Fantastic. What's the definition of a vocative? Good job. What's the definition of a vocative? Wonderful. And what's the definition of a vocative? Excellent. Let's have a look at how to diagram a vocative. So you have the verb and subject like that, and the vocative in the diagram is also separated from the rest of the diagram, like so. And here is a diagrammed vocative. Alistair, you eat. So it doesn't really matter what order the vocative is in the sentence, it will always go at the front of the sentence when you diagram it. Let's look at the first 5. Siri, I'm selling you on eBay. So, how do you mark this sentence? So the verb here is am selling, the subject is I, you is the direct object, the vocative is Siri, which means you need to put in a comma to separate it from the rest of the sentence. So make sure that you do that. And on eBay is a prepositional phrase, on being a preposition and eBay being an object of preposition. Now, how do you diagram this sentence? Here is the diagram. Now, how do you mark this sentence? Here's the marking. How do you diagram this sentence? Here is the diagram. Now, how do you mark this sentence? Here's the marking. How do you diagram the sentence? Here is the diagram. How do you mark this sentence? Here's the marking. How do you diagram this sentence? Here is the diagram. How do you mark the sentence? Here is the marking. And how do you diagram the sentence? Here is the diagram. Alright, so let's have a look at some special tips that will help you to mark and diagram vocatives. Basically, you need to ensure that when you have a vocative in your writing, that you always put commas to separate it from the rest of the sentence, otherwise people will be confused about what you mean, as we saw with poor little Alistair. Also, if you're diagramming, it has to be separated from the rest of the sentence as well. Those are a couple of tips that will help you. Vocatives, they're marked in blue, so you know they're nouns. I hope that helps you out. Have fun with the rest of the sentences and the diagramming, and we'll see you in the next lesson.